This is a setup I didn't know I needed. Claude is now editing my video from start to finish. He's adding every motion graphic, killing every filler word, polishing the full video, all off of one prompt. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how it works, how to set this up for yourself. And if you stay to the end, I'll show you a part that generally surprised me, the compounding part that no one ever talks about. So what you're looking at right now, this video was edited by Claude. The cuts, the motion graphics, popping in those keywords. And all you have to do is drop in the raw files inside Claude, tell him what you wanted. Then 10 minutes later, here's what he comes back with. There's not a lot of back and forth. I basically gave Claude the freedom to do what he thought was best, and he produced this video. And if you make any videos, you already know the exact problem is editing. You record a 5 to 10 minute video, then you spend an hour cleaning it up. That's cutting, motion graphics, pretty much piecing everything together, and honestly it gets exhausting. And that's the reason why most creators just stop posting, not because they ran out of ideas, but because the editing is a wall they hit. Claude fixes that. So let me show you exactly how that works, because Claude isn't actually doing the editing himself. He's using two tools to get the job done. One is called hyperframes and the other one is called video use. Those are the two tools editing this video. How that works is Claude is telling them what to do. The way video use works is when you drop that first video, it then runs that audio through a transcription process like WhisperFlow, Grok AI, which gives us a full transcript of every word we said with timestamps. Once it has a full transcript, it reads it and then looks for the parts that you wouldn't want on your final video, like the ums, the long silences, the moments where you started a sentence and ended it halfway. It marks every one of those and then it cuts it out of your video. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is hyperframes. So once video use gets done cutting your videos, hyperframes takes over, which is a second application it uses. Then it starts adding the motion graphics on top and the captions. And then Claude is the one that puts everything together. You don't have to touch either of the tools yourself. You just tell Claude in plain English what you want to trim the filler words, add the captions, drop in any cards like motion graphics and everything. He calls whatever tools that you need and it gets the job done. And honestly, the best part of this is you don't have to install any of it yourself. The whole thing is set up off of one prompt. Let me show you what I mean. So the only thing you really need is Claude Desktop. And if you have it already installed, that's great. If not, just go ahead and go to claude.com and download it onto your Chrome or whatever you're using and then just sign in. You're basically going to open a new folder. This is going to be your video editing studio. I like to keep this separate from my main Jarvis folder, Jarvis.2, because this is where my ideating is and this is where my business lies. You can name it whatever you like Video Studio or something that correlates with what you're trying to do. Cool. Claude is going to go ahead and set everything up for us. All we have to do is we're going to have to go ahead and grab those two links from GitHub. The first one is Nate Herc's Hyperframes Student Kit, and the second one is Video Use Repo from the Browse Use team. So all you have to do, again, it's super simple. Go ahead and grab those links. Go ahead and tell Claude that you want them to install it. Then you just have to tell Claude, hey, I'm setting up this folder as my video editing studio. All you have to do is drop those two links inside Claude and have him download those repos. Once you're done, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. So while this is running, all it's doing is reading those two repos, figuring out what the project needs and installing it in the right place. It's going to ask you for an API for 11 Labs, WhisperFlow. This is a transcription process. Everything's pretty much free. You pretty much want to go to 11 Labs API or WhisperFlow API. I typically use WhisperFlow. So once it's done, you can see that it's fully installed. It took about 4 to 5 minutes. Now that you have this, you have its own dedicated project. And every time you use it, it's going to compound on each other because it's going to understand who your brand is and how you actually like the editing. So now that we have installed, we have our first project. Let's go ahead and make our first edit. I have a video here going over slash research agent. It's a couple minutes long. The goal is to strip out any filler words, add some motion graphics, and see what Claude comes back with. One thing I suggest before you start, do a practice one with a short video first, something between 30 seconds to a minute, so it can understand your brand, what you're exactly looking for, the colors, the fonts, how it should place the motion graphics in the video itself. That way Claude can pick up how your brand works, what kind of editing you like, and what type of feeling you want the video to be. Once you have that video, go ahead and drop it in there. I'm going to use a prompt like this. So while that is running, there are two things happening right now behind the scenes. I know we touched on it earlier, but it's worth talking about it one more time. Video use is one of the tools it's actually calling on, right? Which is making the cuts on the file itself, right? That's the filler words, the dead air, the mess ups. It's going to get that transcription and pull all of that. And then we have hyperframes, which is the other application that is trimming up the clip. And it's writing the HTML for the scene on top. Think of it like two editors. One is video use, cleaning everything up, cleaning the footage, and Hyperframes is the one making it look good with the motion graphics. Each one has its own job, and Claude puts everything together for a final output for the render. So here's our first video. Here's the part I think is really cool. It opens up its live editing preview so you can see those motion graphics in real time like you're editing in CapCut. Or you can click on it, you can make any changes on the spot, you can watch it and update it live. Just staring at a render piece, we're making live edits. You can do it there, or you can just prompt Claude to make those changes for you. So first thing you want to look at, did it remove any filler words? That's the first thing it typically does. I have it set where it does a full thing, but you can have it in sequences, right? So the first would be remove all filler words. Then it gives you that video output. You check it. It's once you give it the green light, it's going to tell you the motion graphics it's going to add. Then you can pretty much approve it. But in my case, it's going to do the full editing on the filler words and the motion graphics itself. The part that generally surprised me is the more that you use this, the better it learns your style, how you want the motion graphics to appear, how the cut editing should actually be, what is a mess up, what is not. You want to continuously prompt it. If this helped you, drop a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if something that you thought was interesting or you want me to make a video about. See you on the next video.